Hello everyone. In this lesson, let us solve this beautiful uh, problem before us. Square root of 24 over square root of 30 plus square root of 6 all to the power of 24. We want to simplify this. So to simplify this, 24 can be broken down as 6 times 4 all over 30 can be broken down as 6 times 5 plus square root of 6, then everything to the power of what? 24, right? Everything raised to the power of 24. This can simplify as square root of 6 multiplied by square root of 4 over square root of 6 multiplied by square root of 5, then plus square root of 6, everything to the power of 24, right? Now from this, we can have it as, let's factor out square root of 6 in the numerator. So we have square root of 6 into square root of 4 all over. In the denominator also, let's factor out square root of 6. We are left with, from here, if you divide, you have square root of 5 plus square root of 6 divided by square root of 6 here is 1, right? Then everything to the power of 24. Now this is also equal to, here we have square root of 6 multiplied by 2, because square root of 4 is 2, all over square root of 6 into square root of 5 plus 1 all to the power of what? 24. Square root of 6, we cancel out square root of 6. Sorry, this is 2 because square root of 4 is 2, sorry. Then this comes down to 2 over square root of 5 plus 1, then raised to the power of what? 24. Now let us rationalize. This is equal to 2 times square root of 5 minus 1 over square root of 5 plus 1 multiplied by square root of 5 minus 1. I am rationalizing by multiplying by the conjugate of the denominator, then raised to the power of 24. In the numerator, this is 2 bracket square root of 5 minus 1 over, in the denominator, that's a difference of 2 squares, which can be square root of 5 squared minus 1 squared. Remember, everything to the power of 24. Now this will turn into 2 root 5, 2 multiplied by root 5 minus 1 over, this we cancel out this remaining 5, and 1 squared is still 1, then everything raised to the power of 24. So from here, we shall have 2 root 5 minus 1 over 4, because 5 minus 1 is 4 to the power of 24. So that these 2 we cancel this 4, leaving us behind with 2. We are now left with square root of 5 minus 1 all over 2, then everything to the power of 24. This is where we are. Now let's do some little breakdown here to favor what we are doing. Do you know that this power of 8, 24, can be seen as 3 times 8? You can break it down as 3 times 8, so that we'll be having square root of 5 minus 1 all to the power of 3 over 2 to the power of 3, then everything to the power of 8. Okay, so now this is now the same thing as square root of 5 minus 1 power 3 over 2 power 3 is 8, then everything still raised to the power of what? 8. Now from difference of 2 cubes, not difference of 2 cubes, when you have a minus b all to the power of 3, that will give you a cube minus 3a squared b plus 3ab squared minus b cubed. This is what it will give you when you expand. Therefore, in the same manner, when you have square root of 5 minus 1 to the power of 3, this will give you square root of 5 to the power of 3 minus 3 multiplied by square root of 5 squared times 1 plus 3 root 5 times 1 squared, then minus 1 cubed. Then substituting, we will now have, if I simplify all these things here, it will give me, this alone is square root of 125, because that will be square root of 5 times square root of 5 times square root of 5, which is the same thing as square root of 125. And I can break 125 down as 25 times 5, and square root of 25 is 5 root 5. So I can now write 5 root 5 minus this, we cancel out this, so leaving me with 5 times 3, that is this 3 times 5, that will be 15, plus 3 root 5, then minus 1, all over 8, everything to the power of what? 8. So from here we can still simplify further to have 5 root 5 plus 3 root 5 is 8 root 5, minus 16 minus 1, minus 15 minus 1 is minus 16, then over 8, all to the power of what? 24. So let us factor out 8 in the numerator. So that will be 8 into root 5 minus 2 over 8, then everything to the power of 8. This is the power of 8, please, to the power of 8. This will cancel out this, leaving us behind with square root of 5 minus 2, all to the power of what? 8. This is what it will give us. Now, remember that we can say something here, because at this point it's now a bit complex. But let us assume that x is equal to square root of 5 minus 2, all to the power of what? 8. Let's assume that this is our x. So I let this to be equal to x, right? No, let's remove the power. Let's say this is equal to x, so that it will help us. This will be better for us. Then that means that x power 8 will now be equal to square root of 5 minus 2, then to the power of 8, right? That is what it means, isn't it? Then from here also, this implies that x plus 2 is equal to square root of 5. Yeah, because this minus 2 can come here, it turns to plus. So x plus 2 is equal to square root of 5. Okay. So now, since we've known that x plus 2 is equal to square root of 5, let us square both sides to kill the square root in 5. Okay, so we can now have x plus 2 all squared is equal to square root of 5 squared. This cancels out. This will give us x squared plus 4x plus 4 equal to 5. So we are having x squared plus 4x plus 4 minus 5. Everything is equal to 0. So this is now x squared plus 4x minus 1 is the same thing as 0, isn't it? Now, let's make x squared subject. So x squared here will now be equal to this minus 1 coming to the right is plus, and this plus 4x coming to the right will give us minus 4x. Remember, our target is to get x power 8, okay, and see what it will become. So, and now we have x power 2. So let's square it again. Let's square both sides. This will be 1 minus 4x all to the power of 2. So you now have x power 4 equal to, opening this bracket will give us 1 squared minus 2 times 1 times 4x, then plus 4x all squared. So x power 4 will be equal to 1 minus 8x, then plus 16x squared. But remember that x squared is equal to 1 minus 4x from here. So anywhere you see x squared, you put 1 minus 4x. The essence of doing this substitution is to remove the power of 2 there, so that the simplification will be easier. Now x to the power of 4 is equal to 1 minus 8x plus 16, then you put 1 minus 4x. So x to the power of 4 is 1 minus 8x plus 16 times 1 is 16, minus 64x, right? Then x to the power of 4 is equal to 1 plus 16 is 17, and minus 8x minus 64x is minus 72x. Let us square again because our target is to get x to the power of 8. So x power 4 all to the power of 2 is equal to 17 minus 72x all squared. So that from here we can then have 4 times 2 will give us x power 8, which we are looking for. We've arrived at that, equal to if we expand this bracket here, that would be 17 squared minus 2 times 17 times 72x plus 72x all to the power of 2. So x to the power of 8 will be 17 squared is 289. 2 times 17 times 72 is 2448x plus 72x all squared. Okay, because 17 squared is 289. 2 times 7 times this is this, then plus 72x all squared. Okay, now if we square 72 squared, let's square 72 squared, it will give us 5148x squared. That is what it will give us. But remember that x squared is equal to 1 minus 4x. So x to the power of 8 will now be 289 minus 2448x plus 5148x squared. So that will be into 1 minus 4x squared. That's what it will give us, because no need, x squared is this, so you substitute that for x squared. So you now have that x to the power of 8 will now be 289 minus 2448x. 5148 times 1 is 5148, then times 4x will give us minus 20736x. Now simplifying further, x to the power of 8 becomes 289 plus this will give us 5473, and this and this combined will give us minus 23,184x. Now, but recall that x is equal to square root of 5 minus 2 from the beginning. I think there is a place we have it. Let's check. I can remember we have that. Here. At this point here we have it. So let's go back again. So if that is the case, it means that here that we are seeing your x, you put square root of 5 minus 2 all to the power of 8 is now equal to 5473 minus 23184x, right? That is just what it is. Then what is your x? This is our x. X is equal to square root of 5 minus 2. So we now have that square root of 5 minus 2 power 8 is equal to 5473 minus 23184x, which is square root of 5 minus 2. Then this will give us that square root of 5 minus 2 to the power of 8 becomes 5473 minus 23184 sub 5, then plus, when you times by 2 you get 46368. Then from here you can then find out that square root of 5 minus 2 all to the power of 8 is equal to, when you add these and these together, you will get 51,841, then minus 23184, so there 5. Therefore, the original equation, which is equal to this, 24 over square root of 30 plus square root of 6 all to the power of 24 is simply equal to 51,841 minus 23,184 root 5. And that is the answer. Thank you and bye. Please subscribe to my channel if you've enjoyed what you've watched.